What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your Married to Medicine review, season 7, episode 7. So, we still in Savannah. It's our last day, or our last episode in Savannah, and we still talking a little bit about what happened the night before, but, it is what it's the same old, same old. Mariah feels the way she feels. The ladies feel the way they feel. It's whatever. A good moment we had in this episode was we saw Jackie and, Dr. Contessa talking. And Contessa was letting her know how she felt with withdrawing from the program and everything. And Jackie brought up a good point. Jackie asked her, she said, but are you bitter? Are you bitter? And she said she was. She said she was a little bitter about having to withdraw from her program, that she felt like they couldn't made it work. She said she went to Tennessee because that program was cheaper, and that program was only 1 year versus if she had stayed in Atlanta, or I guess closer to home, it would have been more expensive and it would have been a 2-year program. So she said, I thought I made the best decision for the family, and I feel like we could have made it work. And again, Contessa, at the end of the day, he didn't ask you to withdraw. You made that decision because you felt that that's what he wanted, but he didn't say that. And Jackie told her, you guys are entering into a very dangerous place in your marriage. And you guys need to really work on it. You need to address it. You need to go to counseling. She said, because then it'll be like a brush fire where the fire will start and it'll spread, and before you know it, everything has been destroyed. I said, okay, Jackie. All right. Now, back in Atlanta, Scott is spending time with Cecil, and he's having the same conversation, saying, look, things are just not, I'm feeling some kind of way. I feel like no matter what I do, it's not right. We're just not in a really good place. Even though she withdrew from the program, we're still in a bad spot. And Cecil told him the same thing. Cecil said, look, man, counseling helped us, but you guys have got to talk about it. You've got to address the elephant in the room before it becomes a bigger issue. He said, I just don't do things the same I used to do them. He said, we're back under the same roof, and we both had to adjust. We both had to change how we did things, and I had to be a lot more conscious of how I was doing things and how I was moving. And so I thought it was a very good conversation that the two of them had with each other. And hopefully they'll come back together and they will address what they need to address and go to counseling if that's what they feel like they need to do. Now, Mariah is still feeling how she's feeling. She had Aiden send her, or email her, I guess, or send her, I don't know, but she got a copy of the test results from the drug test that she took. She said that, she's not going to leave, that she's going to stick it out because she feels like she always ends up running when things get bad, and she's going to stick it out. And Toya is like, look, I'm just tired of the drama. I'm tired of the mess. And, Mariah said, look, I am too, but, it is what it is. She said, this whole situation with the drugs thing, it really, really bothered me. It really, really bothered me. And I understand it bothering you, but I guess, I read the comments that y'all left for me, and I understand. I'm not saying that Mariah's not entitled to her feelings. All I'm saying is, Mariah, you have thrown stones, and now that those stones are coming back, your hurt is no greater than Quad's hurt. It's no greater than some of these other people that you've thrown stones at. It's no greater than Heavenly's hurt. You spent all last season accusing her husband of cheating and claiming you had receipts, and then when it was time to shut up or put up, then you ain't had nothing. So I'm not saying that she's not hurt, and I don't know whether it's true or not. The rumor is true or not, but at the end of the day, your hurt is no greater than anybody else's, and that's the only point I was making. So the ladies are getting ready for a masquerade. I thought they were going to like a masquerade ball, but they were going to dinner, and Jackie asked them to wear masks to dinner. Now, Jackie, usually I'm with you with these exercises. I think that you come up with some pretty good exercises. This one, I thought was a little bit of a waste of energy because these ladies had these masks, and some of these masks were beautiful. Mariah's, I think, was my favorite mask. Mariah had a really pretty mask. And these women got all dressed up except for Toya. I don't know if Toya's memo got lost or Toya just didn't give a damn. But everybody else has on evening gowns, and Toya got on jeans. They get to dinner, and it's a rented out. It's a barn. It's rented out. They've got a private chef and all that good stuff. So Jackie pulls all them together, and Jackie says, all of us wear masks in our lives. We're mothers, we're this, we're that, not professional and private, and we all have to wear masks, but we are among friends and sisters and sister friends, I think is how she worded it, and we don't have to wear our mask here. So I'm going to ask everyone to take their mask off. And I'm thinking, that's it? You had them wear masks to dinner just to take the mask? Really? Okay, Jackie. This one was a little, like I said, this one, Jackie, you lost me on this one a little bit. But anyway, so they take their mask off, and they're sitting down to dinner, and everything starts off well. Until Simone says, I just want to say my piece. And basically what Simone was saying was, look, you guys, Quad and Mariah, you have both said things to each other to hurt each other. And I'm asking that the two of you find a way to, I don't know if she wasn't asking them to be friends, but I guess she was asking them to figure out a way to be around each other and not be vicious and not be so nasty towards each other. Because what Simone was saying was, look, the tension falls on all of us. The residue from you all's fight hits all of us. And it's gotten nasty and it's gotten vicious. And both of you have been hurt. And you have both hurt each other. And, at this point, and then she got really emotional and she started crying. And she had to get up from the table. And 4 people followed her to the bathroom. And I'm with Heavenly. Why everybody gotta go? Like, I get that she's upset. I get that she's crying and she was going to the bathroom to get herself together. But 4 y'all had to go. All y'all had to go. And because all that was left at the table was Jackie, Mariah, Toya, and Dr. Heavenly. Everybody else went to the bathroom. So in the bathroom, and in her confessional, Quad was like, look, all this wasn't necessary. Like, I really wish Simone wouldn't say anything. Like, we're at dinner. What happened last night is what happened last night. Like, let's let it go. And what Quad said to Simone was, because Simone was saying, I know Mariah, and I don't believe that Mariah was using drugs. And Quad said, that's fine that you feel that way. She said, but you didn't have a relationship that I had. And I know what I saw, and nobody's going to convince me otherwise. Now, here's the thing. I get it. I believe that Quad thinks that that's what she saw. And I don't know whether she saw it or not. But I believe that Quad believes what she's saying. I don't think Quad thinks she's making up a lie. But then on the other hand, Mariah got these tests done at very reputable places. And she said she had more than one test done that said she didn't have no drugs in her system. So maybe Quad thought she saw something that she didn't see. But neither here nor there. I understand where Simone is coming from. Like, look, the two of you have the biggest rift in this group. And it falls on everybody, and it forces people to sort of take sides, and it forces this negative energy. And y'all just got to figure out a way to fix it. And back at the table, Toya tries to have a conversation with Dr. Heavenly. She said, well, last night you said you believed it. Heavenly said, don't put me in it. I don't want to have nothing to do with it. I'm not having this conversation. And she gets up and walks away from the table. She said, I'm not doing it. Don't bring me back in this. I'm not doing it. So then Toya starts talking to Jackie, and Toya says, well, Mariah, just show her the results. Mariah, just show her the test results. Just show her the test results. And Mariah, they give the test results to Jackie, and Jackie won't look at them. Jackie refuses to look at the test results, and she gives them back to Mariah. And, of course, Mariah is hurt because she's like, look, you won't even look at the daggone test results. Like, I can't even get you to look at them. She said, these women don't care nothing about me. They don't care about whether it's true or not. Now, what I had a problem with this whole thing, Mariah, was the only person you tried to give those test results to was Jackie. And I know that Jackie is the pseudo leader, but just because Jackie wouldn't look at him, it doesn't mean that Contessa wouldn't have looked at him. Simone wouldn't have looked at him. Well, Heavenly probably wouldn't have looked at him. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that the rest of the group would not have looked at him. You didn't try to give him to the rest of the group. You just took Jackie's rejection and said, well, forget it then. If Jackie won't look at him, then these women, and then it became the whole group doesn't care about me. Nobody cares about me. Nobody cares about me. And so she gets up and she walks off. She goes to sit in the van. She trying to talk to the driver about Game of Thrones, honey. And she couldn't believe that the driver didn't look at Game of Thrones. Jackie's thing was, when it comes to Mariah, I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. I didn't want to look at the test results. I didn't, because it didn't matter. It didn't matter what I said. I was going to be in a bad spot. And that goes back to what Simone was saying about this problem affecting everybody. This is between you and Quad, yet it's affecting the whole group. And Mariah really just feels rejected by the whole thing. By the time all this is over with, honey, everybody heads back to the bus, and they never even had dinner. Contessa goes back in and gets dinner from the chef, and I feel bad for the chef. I mean, I'm sure the chef got paid, but daggone, I'm sure he was ready to do the daggone thing. But they got their to-go plates, honey, and they headed back to the house. So the next day, their last day, they're getting up and they're going to visit a church, and then they're going to head on back to Savannah. And they ended up going to, I believe it was called First Baptist. Now, my Savannah people, I need y'all help in my comments. I've been to Savannah a few times, but the first time I went to Savannah I was in high school, and I was visiting Juliette Lowe's house, the founder of the Girl Scouts. And while we were there, we visited one of the oldest black churches that was built by slaves, and I'm wondering if it's the same church. I don't remember the name of the church. I was in high school. That was many, many moons ago. But what I do remember about that church was, on the floor of the church, there were holes in the church. And what the guy who gave us the tour told us was that those holes in the floor, they believed them to be, that this church was a part of the Underground Railroad, and that those holes in the floor was where they would have the slaves that were, let them, because, during the day they didn't move. They stayed put during the day, and they moved at night. And the holes were there as ventilation so that they could, breathe. Now, what they said was that, and again, this was many years ago, when I was in high school, they had not found the entrance yet. They believed that was what that was, but they hadn't found the entrance. Now, that might have been something they told us as sort of just part of the folklore of the story, or it may have been true. And I don't know if it's the same church, but I'm pretty certain it was the same church. My Savannah people, let me know if I'm on the right road, if that's the same church that I went to. Anyway, but they had a nice tour of the church. Once again, Toya's the only one in there, and Toya got on booty shorts. Everybody else has on a dress or a nice outfit. Toya got on booty shorts. I don't know what's going on. Why Toya just don't follow the memos? Like, everybody else knew y'all were going to a church. Toya, you could have changed your clothes after the tour was over. Why you walking through them people church in some booty shorts? And you know you got a booty. Child. So the pastor makes a comment about people being petty. And Contessa was like, I think Jackie done gave this man a script. So he asked them, and he talks about this church being one of the bedrocks of the civil rights movement. Martin Luther King giving a very famous speech there, his 40 acres and a mule. And, it was a moment. It was a moment. So then she asked the women, she says, if this was your last day on earth, what would your testimony be about this trip? I don't feel like none of them answered the question. They all said some nice things, but I don't feel like none of them answered the question. Quad got up and, she was Quad. Very, very dramatic in her, I've had a hard year, and that year made me a better person, and I'm able to stand before you naked. And in my mind, I'm thinking, not with that wig on and that full face of makeup, you ain't naked, but I knew what she meant. I get it. But Quad is Quad, honey. But she looked beautiful doing it, honey. She looked so beautiful. Mariah basically told Jackie, I forgive you. That was her moment to Jackie, and Jackie said to her, I'm open to you, we didn't hear what Toya had to say. We didn't really hear what Buffy had to say. I guess they didn't say nothing that deep. I don't think we heard what Contessa had to say either. Is that all we heard? Was Quad, Mariah, and Jackie? Heavenly spoke. Heavenly, she spoke. She said so. And what she said was nice too. That, just feeling the spirit of where they were and all that meant. So that was a moment. So then they head back to Savannah, and we have like a little cute moment with Heavenly and Alora. Here's what's funny to me. Heavenly asking the girl, what's going on with you, because you got an attitude, and where's this attitude coming from? And I'm thinking to myself, this child has always had an attitude. She's always been a smart mouth little girl. She's always, that's been y'all's relationship. But see, she's a teenager now, and I guess what you thought was cute at 8 ain't cute at 14. You know what I'm saying? But the girl is pretty much the same, but she's a teenager. She don't want her mama in her room. She don't want her mama in her business. She don't want to tell her mama nothing. She don't want to talk to her mama about nothing. That's what teenagers do. And, Heavenly said, I try not to shelter her because I grew up so sheltered. But I know that I have to find a happy balance. Like, I know I do. She said, but I don't want to push her away, and I don't want her to resent me. So, she's just trying to find that balance with her being a teenager, growing up, not wanting to make the mistakes that she felt like her mother made with her, but not being too lenient of a parent. So, and I think that's... Oh, sorry, somebody outside blowing their horn. It's too late at night to be blowing horns. I don't know what's going on out there. And then we see Toya, Eugene, Mariah, and Aiden. They go out to lunch, and they pretty much just rehash what happened at in Savannah. And once again, Mariah makes it seem like, that the ladies rejected her test results. The ladies. Now, they spoke about Jackie not looking at the test results, but Aiden felt like, oh, so they just didn't care. And I'm like, she didn't show them to it, at least not on camera. She didn't show them to anybody else. Nobody else down there knew she had those test results except for Jackie, for what we saw. We didn't see her try to show those test results to anybody else. So, again, I feel like you can't blame all of the women for not wanting to look at the test results because Jackie didn't want to look at them. I just felt like that was disingenuous to try to make it seem like it was a group thing when it was one person. And again, Mariah's like, I just know how I need to move because these women don't care nothing about me. They don't care about how much she hurt me. They don't care about everything I went through. And I just know I got to move different. So, y'all, that's pretty much what went down. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.